Bonjour everyone, welcome to another video. So I'm going to do another quick video regarding my most recent peg finds. All Hot Wheels Mainline, nice couple drops in the last 2 weeks or so. Lots of H and J case. Just waiting on K. Hopefully get that Hako Skyline. Hopefully the Super, but doesn't matter if it's not. So yeah, without further ado, as you can see, we've got three that I've already liberated from their packaging. We'll start off with probably the best rivalry of American cars, that has ever been, at least in my humble opinion. So we've got the 69 Copo Camaro, a nice red. You can see I already added some headlights on here, so yeah, just had to. It looks super plain, the front. Rear I don't mind because it's red anyways, but yeah, love the hockey stripe on the front, little hockey stripes on the hood as well. Really good looking cast. I have another variation of this that's loose, and I do like this one better because it is a very factory. Yeah, all in all, nice black interior, nice big 5 spokes in the rear, smaller ones in the front in chrome, which is quite fitting for this vehicle. And I like the fact that these wheels are really concave looking, which gives it a little bit of a meaner looking stance. But yeah, the front lights don't look half bad there. Just 2 little specks of silver Sharpie, and there you go. Adds that much more of a touch. And, nice little casting details in the rear. Very well rendered. But, Hot Wheels and Camaro, in my opinion, they kind of go hand in hand anyways. So next up, this is probably my favorite variation of the 65 2+2 Mustang. Again, just 2 little dabs of silver on the front for some headlights. Nice dark Highland green looking paint. Gloss though, not metallic in any way, shape, or form, which is fine. 2 go faster stripes, and the little side stripes as well with the Mustang logo on the front fender. Love the stance of this. It's slammed, widened, very pro touring looking. Be really cool if it had a roll cage, but hey, it's all good. Yeah, and definitely very good looking, stock looking type of color setup, which is something I like on both of these cars basically. And last of the loose, picked up the they don't pick up a whole lot of motorcycles, but this one I had to pick up for the nice little BMW motorcycle, just because I have an affinity for the M livery, and it's the color scheme that really got me on this one. I mean, the wheels are definitely not awesome in my humble opinion. This is surprisingly heavy though. I mean, it's pretty much all metal except for the wheels, and suspension, fenders. I mean, the engine's metal, the whole black part here is metal, body's metal, fairings metal, everything's metal basically, except for a small plastic insert for the fenders, the seats, and obviously the wheels. Oh my, sorry about that. But I like the fact that they tampoed the front, the big front round light, and yeah, as mentioned, M color livery with some BMW logos on the fuel tank. So cool little bike. Got a couple Ducatis and the Honda Monkey, but I think that's the only Hot Wheels bikes I have. It's not necessarily my favorite thing, but hey. On to the carded stuff. So I've got about a dozen cars to show you today. First one I'm going to show you is actually kind of like not a card that I wanted to pick up necessarily out of this case. But when I saw it on the pegs, I got a flash basically. So it's the Ford 40 Ford pickup in a nice comp cam livery, full drag setup with the roll cage, the big rear tubs in the back, big air intake for the blower on the hood, gold staggered 5 spokes, get the wheelie bars in the back with the parachute, yeah, no tampos for in the rear though, unfortunately. So pretty plain Jane. But yes, because I have the Willys drag car from Hot Wheels as well. It's also on 5 spokes. Very similar in type of livery. Just the paint that instead of being a gloss is kind of a satin. And obviously different different livery. But all in all, they fit super well together. If ever you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably see a post I put comparing the two. So yeah, if you don't, feel free. You'll find my handle for Instagram in the description of this video. Next up, let's get some JDMs out of the way since you know, JDM is my jam. Wasn't sure I would pick this up, but I saw it and I really did dig the color. The recolor of the 2020 Tacoma. Really nicely done casting by Hot Wheels. Full deco, front, rear. Very well executed, especially the front. Definitely liking this. Love the 5-spoke off-road wheels in black as well. They look really good. You know, not something I was necessarily looking forward to, but I mean, I love the blue one, and I do still prefer the blue one, but this one also is a nice complement to the Toyota stash. So, yeah, I had to pick this up. You know, it's a desirable casting, and it's very well made, so why the heck not? Next up, let's see, we have, yeah, let's see, another Toyota. This one I was definitely looking forward to a lot, so the infamous Toyota van. I did change very recently my my little profile avatar there to something that looks like this. I mean, this is something that brings me right back to when I was a small child, where these were all over the place. You know, either in 2-wheel drive like this one obviously is in views of the stands, or in front wheel 4-wheel drive as well. This thing is a cab over engine style van. Very unusual for North America, but you know what? It's so groovy, so 80s. I love the full deco on the back. Rear lights are really well done. Love the decorative stripes that are very 80s on the side. Aero discs fit the casting very well. And since the front lights are lensed and part of the glass portion of the casting, well, we can see it's an all-arounder, and we do have mirrors on this one, just like we do on the Tacoma. So kudos to Hot Wheels for that. Love the wide body, and these are the kind of factory accessory body kits that you could get directly from Toyota in Japan at the time. We never got these because of crash regulations in North America. So these type of bumpers basically. So yeah, bumpers and flares. Looks aftermarket. The stance is definitely aftermarket, but these bumpers are actually pretty close to what you could actually get from the factory as an option. So very cool stuff. Same color as the Tacoma, so the two of them go extremely well together, at least in my humble opinion. It's a nice little duo. If ever you checked out my video about diecast cars that go well in pairs there, well, I think this is definitely a contender for that. So excellent stuff, excellent stuff. Love the fact that Hot Wheels is putting out more and more Japanese nostalgic cars. Definitely something that I find quite cool. So not so nostalgic, but definitely desirable. I'm a sucker for the Falcon livery with the blue and teal. Big white 10 spokes on this Fdr X7. Yeah, so basically full Falcon livery, the Greddy, the ABOC. Is this on the back here? Oh, okay, it's a Rays. Well, I mean, Rays. They could be loosely C28Ns, maybe C28 wheels. The multi-spokes from Rays. Either way, you know. I like the hood deco as well. It's not my favorite version of this car. You know, lack of rear and front light details obviously is a little bit of a bummer. Front's pretty easy to address. The rear lights are fairly intricate on these if you want to get them right, unless you do something like black with just a little bit of red, as with the kooky version of these, you know, the later spec Japanese lights that were ongoing, 98 plus, that we never got here since North American RX-7 production last production or last year available as new was 1996. So, but yeah, very cool cast, very cool car in real life. Love the 13B, has an engine. Well, you know, I wouldn't want to own one, but definitely like it. And yeah, very nice car. Definitely very nice car. Then I have, again, you know, casting I wasn't sure I wanted to pick up, but since it's an actual real livery on a real car, did pick up this version of the LB Silhouette R35 GTR. You know, it's a real car. It was at SEMA this year, so, or last year maybe. Definitely cool. Yeah, it was a Hot Wheels Legend Tour and whatnot. Same exact livery. Just a little bit disappointed that as opposed to the two first iterations in red and light blue, there is no rear light details on this one, unfortunately. But, you know, you take what you can, right? It's still a cool car. Nice rendering of an awesome one. Not crazy about the twin 5 spokes on this in black. It's, I don't know. Weird contrast with the super dark blue, I find, but yeah, all in all, still a very cool replica of an actual real car, and still has the lens front lights, so there you go. Good stuff. Probably the one I was most excited about would be the another Liberty Walk Ken Mary Skyline GTR. My favorite Skyline GTR, personally. Great tampo work on the front with the slanted front lights, something that was extremely popular with the Bosuzoku crowd in the 80s. Again, you know, love the 80s. Wish it had rear lights, honestly, rear light tampos, but you know, it's pretty straightforward to address, honestly. Little bit of red and some silver surround, and we're all good to go. Again, these are tilted downwards to give it an angry look. I love the wide body on there. That's not the same color. Tiny 8mm 5 spokes. Kind of look weird from certain angles when you can actually see the inner wheel well and the same color as the body and not the wheel arches. But I'm more than willing to let that go. 3 tambo passes on this one, so I'm satisfied. Very small detailing job on this one to make it acceptable. So very cool, very cool. You know, love my Nissan, so I won't complain there. Still staying in the Liberty Walk. Picked up the latest iteration of the Huracan Coupe with the LB Works kit. I do prefer the first iteration, as most collectors do, from what I've heard from feedback on other people's videos, and I'm gonna agree on that on my end as well. Black 10 spokes are a good choice. It's clean, mind you, but again, you know, the Huracans have never had the rear lights done, and they're extremely difficult to do because of the lack of space. And you have to be extremely relaxed. Got to have a stable hand and a very fine instruments to actually get everything done without any type of mistakes. But hey, it's part of the fun, I guess. Nice lights in the Lambo badge on front. Rose could use some darkening to replicate what's on the card, but that's easy. It's a good reference point to get those done, so not mad about that at all. So yeah, nice little addition to the exotics. After that, one I was again not sure I'd pick up, but once I saw the color, I was like, why not? The orange recolor of the McLaren F1. I mean, it's not quite Can-Am orange. It's kind of like a mix between that kind of like pearlescent, kind of almost color flip paint that we've seen on the, starting with the P1, I guess, from McLaren. And you know, the Can-Am version that we've seen on a limited edition Senna that I've seen in person, which is really more gloss than pearlescent. It's kind of a hybrid in between the two. It's hard to see here with the, but I mean, most of you probably have seen, if not picked up already, this casting in this color. So, but again, Rhea did a great job on the details of this. Simple 2 passes of tampo, and using the base to do the front grille, the front grills below the headlights and indicators. McLaren badge up front. The rear is really good. The tampo work on the rear is really, really good. And on the orange one, it pops a little bit more than on the silver, and definitely more than on the black. But I think the silver is still my favorite variation of this so far. So, and yeah, staying in the 90s exotics. This one I knew I would pick up despite not collecting variations, overly collecting, I'd say, variations, because I'm starting to realize that I have a few variations of several castings. So the EB110, this is special because this is the EB110 SS. Now the EB110 is definitely my favorite hypercar of the 90s. I mean, quad turbo V12 with 4-wheel drive, manual 6-speed, limited slip diffs all around. It was just like very, very impressive as a tech showcase. Now, the SS model that you see here, you'll notice that you have these air vents that actually let air into the engine, as well as that high-rise spoiler on the rear. Now, basically, the first iteration and what will be considered later on as the base model EB110, slightly less power, and a little bit more of a luxurious feel, a lot of wood inside and whatnot. The spoiler in the rear actually was flush and would raise at a certain speed electrically, right? So on the GT, to save some weight, they made it fixed. And these vents that I was referring to, that was actually a little quarter window behind the B-pillar, basically, as opposed to vents. You know, so a little bit more aerodynamic, but a little bit less cooling for the engine. So, the reason why I really like this one is the fact that these aero discs actually do mimic the original EB110 wheels when the EB110 was released. And they were actually made by BBS. So they're not exactly the same, obviously, but and then I know there's a set of original EB110 GT wheels that were actually sold recently at auction, one of the high-end auctions in the States. Maybe it's Sotheby's, I'm not really sure, but they brought in, I believe, $14,900 for a set of 4 wheels on original tires that either way would need to be changed because they're from the early 90s. So incredible stuff. Very cool. Yeah, and getting back to the casting, now that we've gone through the details, you know, the lens fronts, little Bugatti logo there. We just need a little bit of detailing for the grills. And full rear. I wouldn't touch a thing, honestly. Maybe a dab of silver on the exhaust, but that's pretty much it. So, great stuff. This is an iconic car to me. Even the front light treatment, which was very, very controversial at the time, with the vents that are right, that kind of cut into the front lights. It grew on me really quick. It's not as sexy as the Jaguar XJ220, and definitely not as fast as a McLaren F1, but at the end of the day, still a damn nice car. Speaking of damn nice cars, this one I was actually agreeably surprised to like it so much. The Automobili Pininfarina Battista, very nice, very nice. Pininfarina, I don't think needs much introduction. I mean, he styled literally the majority of Ferrari models, and most of the super iconic ones. I mean, you got Bertone that did some of them. A lot of which are not very liked. The Ferrari GT4 would be one from the mid to late 70s, the wedge shape, which became the Mondial eventually. Mondial 8, which is probably the Ferrari that's least liked almost out of all Ferraris. You've got also the 400i that bred the 456 GT, 456M, then the 550 Maranello, 575, Ferrari FF, the 612, Scaglietti, so on and so forth. All those four-seat V12 front-engine cars. So this is basically Pininfarina deciding to do his own car, not just as a stylist, but as a motorist. And I do like the overall shape, even though it's very, I won't say very, but it's quite generic in my humble opinion. At least the front is. It's got cues from styling cues I find from the 90s and early 2000s, namely that band that goes across. I find is very early to mid 90s prototype style. In the rear, I mean, it's a little bit more unique, and it's very well done by Hot Wheels. If we're talking about tamper work and whatnot, I love that. And the RA6 wheels in black do look good. They do fit the car quite well. All in all, I love the color. The two-tone yellow and black is really good. And definitely not going to complain about picking up this one. And last one I'm going to show you is the good old regular T-Hunt of one of my favorite Baja style casts, the Dodge D100. You know, I love this era of Mopar pickup, as well as the Ram Chargers and whatnot. They're really, really cool. This is definitely a very cool T-Hunt. Very, very nice T-Hunt. I love the beadlock off-road wheels in white to complement the white striping, with the Hot Wheels graphics and the BF Goodrich livery on there. See the T-Hunt logo on the rear fender with the Hot Wheels flame above the Hot Wheels logo. Obviously, I could do without the red spare wheel, but since it does lend a very cool red interior, I'm willing to forgive that. You know, red push bar kind of fits with the whole deal there, since there is a little bit of red, as you can see in the livery itself. But yeah, this is I'd say this is pretty much ex aequo, at least for me, for the Mini, if we're talking about regular T-Hunt so far. And again, I think this is only going to be dethroned with the 22B. That's going to be part of a later case this year. I'll be on the lookout for that. Once you see that white 22B, you guys better pick that up. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to show you today. So hopefully you enjoyed this little showcase. You know, quick video of my finds, and yeah, don't hesitate to comment, like, subscribe. If it's your first visit, thanks for watching. If it's a return one, thank you as well for returning back. And I wish everybody a great rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.